In today's video, I'm going to be discussing two good changes to SSDI and SSI that were recently announced by Social Security. I have all the details for you right here in the video. Let's get into it and discuss what's going on. First off, thank you so much for liking and sharing this video with those buttons right down below. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Also, if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, first off, welcome and thank you so much for watching. Will you please make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button right down below. Again, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Let's get into it and talk about SSDI and SSI, the two major changes that are actually really good for the programs going forward, and again, recently announced by Social Security. Now, really quickly before we get into it, I just want to point this out really fast. Everything I'm talking about here in this video pertains to SSDI and SSI benefits. Both programs are administered by the Social Security Administration. Both programs are focused on basically people that have limited income, limited resources, and disabilities as well, okay? This that I'm talking about here in this video does not pertain to Social Security retirement, spousal benefits, survivor's benefits, anything like this. It's just SSDI and SSI, okay? Want to make that very clear really quickly so there's no confusion about this. Again, as I said before in other videos all the time, all of these programs, even though administered by Social Security, are very, 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 very different in a lot of ways. Even though SSDI and SSI are very similar, they're also very different in a massive way as well. But these changes that they have announced actually impact both benefit programs, okay? Does that make sense? Anyway, just want to make that very, very clear. Anytime that I'm talking about specifically retirement or survivors or spousal or SSI or SSDI, I always make that very clear. I just want to point that out really quickly, okay? Anyway. Got it? Okay, great. Okay, let's talk about these announcements. These are actually really good for the programs, okay? Now here's the thing. When you go through the process of getting SSDI and SSI benefits, is it a little, stroll in the park and a lovely little experience? I don't think so. I think a lot of us agree that it's not fun. I don't want to do that again, right? Yeah, I think all of us are probably saying the same thing. A lot of delays, a lot of back and forth, filling out forms and back and forth, maybe legal representation, waiting, years of delays, appeals, denials. Again, the list goes on and on. It's honestly a massive headache for a lot of people. And it's just not a fun process. I think a lot of us probably agree with that, right? Now, obviously, that's not everybody's experience, but that is the experience for a lot of people, unfortunately. However, they're making the process a little bit easier, okay? They've already made multiple changes to Social Security, Disability, SSDI, and SSI so far this year. Multiple, a lot of really good changes for a lot of people. However, a couple more have been announced here, and again, I want to focus on them. All right, so change number one, they have actually updated the DOT, which stands for Dictionary of Occupational Titles. Okay, what is that? Let me tell you what that is, okay? So here's what it comes down to. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of different occupations within this DOT, basically this Dictionary of Occupational Titles. There's thousands of different occupations within it, okay? So basically what they do is when they look at an application, again, I'm just kind of breaking this process down. It's way more complex than what I'm making it sound like in here in this video, but just kind of hang with me here. You'll get the point, okay? So basically they have like a 5-step process, okay? There's more than that, but just think of it this way, okay? Anyway, they're amending one of these steps of the process, which is basically looking at your past relevant work, okay? They want to look back at your past relevant work and they see, hey, you did this job at some point in the past, and now you could potentially do this other job within the DOT based on your previous work history. You could potentially do this other job, okay? Then they go through this dictionary of occupational titles, and they basically say, well, you can't do this work anymore because of the disability that's onset, but now you can do these other 4 or 5 jobs out of the dictionary. Does that kind of make sense, right? However, they've revised the dictionary a little bit, and they've removed 114 different occupations that no longer exist or are in very, very limited quantities across the entire country. A few of them include canary breeder, reptile farmer, a nut sorter. What? A nut sorter? Yeah, that's one as well. Watch repairer. That's another one. Pneumatic tube operator. That's again another one. You can see a lot of these things don't really exist. And if they do, like one person does the job. You know what I mean? Like nobody does these jobs anymore. Well, anyway, there were 114 of these different titles that they removed from the dictionary, which is good, okay? Reason being is they can't deny your claim anymore based on these 114 different occupations that were there that they could have come back and said, well, you can technically work as this type of person with this type of disability because you can do this now, right? Now they cannot come back and say that on these 114. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still thousands and thousands of occupations in there, and I'm sure it still needs to go through and get another purge, as I'm sure it didn't clean it up with 114. But either way, at least it's a start here, okay? So that's one way that they were denying disability claims and applicants, is because they were just coming back and suggesting, well, you're right, you have a disability now. You can't work at your previous position, but you can do these other jobs like a nut sorter or a watch repairer, or you could be a canary breeder or a reptile farmer, right? No, not happening. I'm sorry, I'm good. I don't need to do any of those things, okay? So they've removed those. That's good, okay? So that's kind of a really brief synopsis of one of the changes that they implemented. Now, that went into effect already. That one already went into effect as of June 22nd, so it's already in effect. Great. Thank you very much. That's a good one. All right. Now, next, the second change that they did implement here this is to SSDI and SSI. Everything I'm talking about here in this video is SSDI and SSI, okay? So this is pretty good stuff, but just remember this much as well. This is making the application process easier for beneficiaries to get benefits. But here's another aspect that they do look at, okay? So they look back 15 years, or they did look back 15 years at work history, okay? And basically, they just wanted to see, what did you do for work during this 15-year period of time? And, they basically use that against the beneficiary or the claimant trying to get benefits, because they say, hey, you did this, X number of years ago, and now, you could do this again, right? So rather than looking back 15 years, the new look back time frame is 5 years. Again, that's a huge improvement there, okay? How many of us can remember what we did 15 years ago? I don't have a clue. I can't even tell you what I did yesterday. No idea. Well, I guess I can think a little bit now that I think about it. What did I do a week ago? No idea. I have no idea what I did a week ago. My point is, so that's the thing, is most people don't know what they did 15 years ago. So they're no longer looking back 15 years and taking 15 years of work history into consideration when it comes down to SSDI and SSI applications and things like this. But rather, they're only going to be looking back 5 years. Okay, so that's the new look back time frame. So another thing about this as well, this also went into effect as of June 22nd of this year. So just not that long ago, right? So this is great. This is already in effect as well. Now, why would they make these changes? What are they doing up here, and what's the objective? To make basically getting SSDI and SSI a little bit easier, making the process a little bit less cumbersome and making it a little bit more accessible for the people that need the benefits like right away, because obviously they sustained a disability. They're no longer able to work at the capacity or in the position that they once did. They need money, and they need money quick. That's exactly why these programs exist. But yet the barriers to entry have been very difficult because they have all these hurdles, all these look back periods, all these different job titles and occupational titles and things like this that they could have said, well, you're denied because you could do this, right? It's tough. So anyway, this is making it easier, a little bit easier. I don't want to act like it's going to be some walk in the park. It's not. But the changes that they've implemented so far this year are making it easier to get SSDI and SSI and making the process a little bit less cumbersome for the applicant, the claimant. Does that make sense? Anyway, I hope that helps you. Again, I have had live streams about this. I've made dedicated videos talking about this, but I continue to get questions about it, and there's a lot of confusion. Don't get me wrong. It's confusing. I totally agree with you. It is tough to keep all this straight. I agree. But either way, I hope this helps you to better understand this. If not, please let me know down below in the comment section. I can do what I can to jump on another video. I can host a live stream, whatever you need from me. Let me know, please, down below. Otherwise, as long as you're down there, make sure to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, question, feedback down below. Otherwise, check out the other videos here on the channel, the thousands in the video library, the ones I've hand-selected for you down below in the description at the top of the comment section. And right now, popping up on your screen, you'll see some videos as well. Take your selection now. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it, and enjoy your day. Take care, and I'll see you again later.